Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Main Street Talk Podcast, your Disney World podcast with all the news, updates, and tips and tricks for the parks. My name is Nick, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Joni.
Good morning.
Today is June 15th, so everything we talk about today will be current up to June 15th. So, not a lot going on this week.
Today is also
Father's Day. Today is Father. We are recording on Father's Day.
So happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. We usually record at night, and we're recording in the morning. This is a little different for us. Mm-hmm. So, thank you for mentioning that. I totally forgot, even though you did get me a card.
I did.
Thank you very much. Anyways, not a lot of news in Disney World this week. Not like last week. Last week was a lot to tackle. This week we got some news, mostly regarding Hollywood studios.
Well, before we get into anything that is Disney related as far as parks is concerned, I would like to also mention that we recorded last weekend and our show aired on Monday, and Monday was actually Nick's birthday. So Monday, June 9th was Nick's birthday.
It was.
And so we were not able to say anything about that as of the last episode. And also to find out, we learned that, or Nick had informed me that that is Donald Duck's birthday, which is also known by Disney as Duck Day. So I went and did a little bit of digging and found that
Duck Day? That's how they say it.
Duck Day.
Duck Day.
Wait, let's see. It's Donald Duck Day.
Donald Duck Day.
Yeah. So it says Donald's birthday is officially June 9th, 1934. The Walt Disney Company recognizes this date as his on-screen debut in the 1934 short film The Little Hen, according to the Disney Company. This day is also celebrated as Donald Duck Day. However, another little tidbit that I discovered is that though June 9th, 1934 is recognized as his birthday, in the show The Three Caballeros, his birthday is noted as Friday the 13th.
Really?
Yeah. And while watching Donald's Happy Birthday, which was released in 1949, it shows a calendar saying Happy Birthday, Uncle Donald by Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and the date is March 13th.
Really?
Yes.
I feel we need to provide some context.
So, what is very strange about this is Nick's birthday is June 9th. Not 1934, of course, but June 9th.
Pretty close.
And that's when Disney recognizes. However, on his birthday episode from The Boys, his birthday is noted as March 13th, which is my birthday.
That is. And to tie this all together, Donald Duck is Joni's absolute favorite Disney character.
I love Donald Duck. I melt down like a little kid when I'm around him.
Her magic band, I'm looking at it right now. We have a magic band display. It is a Donald Duck magic band. Last year we were in Animal Kingdom, and we went to meet Donald Duck, and she showed off her magic band to Donald Duck.
And I couldn't hug him enough.
And he was so excited that she had his magic band. He kept pointing to it.
Yeah.
And making a heart shape.
Yeah, he's always my favorite. You know, Donald's known as the troublemaker.
He is.
And I just love it. And I also, he's known as the jack of all trades, but the master of none. So, and he's just always finding himself in situations that are, you know, unpredictable, or, you know, he enhances them in himself, but he's just always finding himself in situations.
A perfect example of that is PhilharMagic.
Yes.
He causes all the chaos.
All kinds of ruckus.
He stole the orchestra wand or whatever, Sorcerer Mickey's, or was it the hat? It was the hat.
It was this hat, yeah. So I also found that an illustrator who goes by Don Rosa, he, according to the cartoon, Donald gets drafted. He was the illustrator for this. And Donald gets drafted in 1942. This is kind of a cute throwback to his outfit, and is his full name, if you don't know, is Donald Fauntleroy Duck. And his middle name is a reference to his sailor hat, which is a common accessory for the little Lord Fauntleroy suits that the boys of the late 1900s fashions would have.
Really?
So it was the knee-length pants, the little fancy shirts, the vest, and different things like that. So yeah.
And he appeared, his first appearance, what was the name of the short?
Oh, it was called Donald Duck's first appearance in June
Yes.
1934?
The hen one.
The Little Hen.
The Little Hen. We watched that last night.
Yeah, we did. And he was accompanied by Peter Pig.
That's right.
They didn't want to help the little hen with her corn.
They didn't want to help plant the corn.
They didn't want to help harvest the corn.
Harvest the corn, but they
plant
wanted,
or harvest.
They wanted to eat the corn.
But they wanted to eat it, but they complained of having bellyache the entire time that she didn't give them corn. She gave them something else. So you guys will have to check that out. It's only 8 minutes, so it's a real cute, short.
Donald Duck's birth.
Yeah.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Then we went a little bit further. We kind of went down rabbit holes, and we'll get into this another time. But we did watch Daisy Ducks up here, her debut film.
And her birthday is actually 2 days before Donald's.
June 7th, 1940.
June 7th, 1940.
Yeah.
So, and the voices of Donald Duck from start of 1934 through 1985 was Clarence Ducky Nash. And then he mentored another individual due to medical reasons that he had that he didn't share with anyone. But he did mentor a Tony and Salmo, I believe is how it's pronounced. And he took over in 1985 to current.
Is his middle name Ducky as well?
No, I don't, not that I'm aware of. No.
Well, it should be.
So pretty amazing. It's only been voiced by a couple of people now. When they do the live shows, there is a stand-in for that. Yeah. But the actual recorded Disney,
the old school,
yeah.
Interesting.
Anything current, like Mickey Mouse Playhouse and different things like that.
Yeah.
This Tony gentleman voices Donald's voice at that point.
We do have an exciting update about Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I'll get into later.
Oh, well, that just ties right in. Yeah.
So that's anything else? Any other information on Donald Duck?
Nope, not that I can think of.
That was interesting. I think we should dive into some of these characters. That's very interesting and where they came from and how they came about. Because we're getting close to 100 years of these characters.
So I guess if just to kind of reiterate and kind of put everything into an itemized, if you guys are wanting to check out any of these things related to Donald, the first one would be The Little Hen, June 9th, 1934.
8 minutes, quick watch.
8 minutes. Then the next one is The Three Caballeros.
Oh, yes.
And then that's the one where it shows Friday the 13th, but it doesn't give a month. However,
that's the Grand Fiesta, ride.
Yes, and that is just over an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Yep. But yeah, it's the Grand Fiesta ride.
Yep.
And then the last one that is titled Donald's Happy Birthday, and that is where Huey, Dewey, and Louie go to buy Donald a birthday gift. And of course, Donald being Donald, everything goes amok. But in any case, that's the one where it's noted as March 13th. So those are the three that are related to his birthday.
And it was just so odd last night. You were researching all this, and we found that your birthday and my birthday are both tied to Donald Duck.
Insane.
And he's your favorite character.
Insane. I got goosebumps when I found it. I didn't want to tell you.
She wasn't going to tell me. She told me a little bit. Pretty interesting.
You guys should have seen the shock factor. Okay. Well, I'm done with Donald for the moment. So
Donald is done?
Yeah, we can move on. I don't think I have anything else. Obviously he was created by Walt and animator Dick Lundry, and he's from Duckburg. And Duckburg was...
Donald's from Duckburg?
Duckburg, yes.
Really?
And he and that was created by Carl Barks in 1944. And actually, I do have one more tidbit. The most youthful appearance of Donald Duck was when he was a hatchling. It kind of reverts back because he goes to be a sailor. So when he gets drafted in 1942, he's obviously of some age. He's not born then or whatnot. But there's another animated TV special and comic book story, both titled "This Is Your Life, Donald Duck," and it's presented by Jiminy Cricket. And as he's hatching, As Donald's hatching from his egg, he's throwing a temper tantrum, which is typical for
That's Donald
our
fashion.
today Donald.
That's Donald.
So I thought that was kind of cute. And he gets his hat from an actual sailor when his grandmother takes him for his very first visit to Duckburg.
Wow.
So, yeah, I did a lot of follow-up on.
She did. And Joni is the researcher out of us. She's the one that digs in and really goes down all the duck holes of everything. So, yeah, Donald's birthday was June 9th. Now we're going to go into my backstory because my birthday was June 9th. I was born in... No, I'm just kidding. Nobody wants to hear about that. I think we're going to do some dives into those characters. You seem to have fun doing that.
I do.
So, yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy it. And I think I want to go beyond the Fab Five and I want to do the princesses. And we're just going to make it a thing.
Make it a whole thing.
Make it a whole thing.
Okay. Well, we're going to get on to the news for people visiting. I guess you could be visiting Disney World.
Yeah, you could be visiting Disney.
Visiting. That's a new term. For
I
people
like it.
visiting Disney World, a lot of the news this week coming out of Hollywood Studios, like I mentioned. The Muppets closed down. Or the Muppets Show closed down. They're not closed. They're moving over to Rock and Roller Coaster. But, of course, this is to make room for Monsters, Inc. land. And so the construction walls went up earlier this week. So the construction walls are right where, you enter, I guess you call it Muppets Courtyard, right in between the Muppets Theater and Pizza Rizzo. The walls are up, so you cannot get back into that area. But what's interesting about the walls going up, in Disney fashion, they posted updated artwork of Monsters, Inc. land.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me this.
Yes, it's a little more clear.
Oh.
In the map, I'm not going to go into a lot of the map. There's a few changes. There is kind of a big change I'll get to in a minute. But so the artwork, there's a few changes. If you look at the original artwork from 2024, the Miss Piggy fountain had, instead of Miss Piggy in there, had a big Mike Wazowski like eyeball looking thing.
Yeah.
That is gone.
Oh.
There's not going to be a Mike Wazowski. Well, the new artwork shows not a Mike Wazowski fountain, but more of a. It looks more the style that it's not going to be Miss Piggy, but it looks more of that style.
I see that.
Fountain. Can you see it?
I do see it.
The Monstro Theater, where the Muppets were, is now called the Glob.
Mm.
In the first concept art, I was looking back. It appears on the sign to say Monster something. I couldn't completely make it out.
I wonder if that's a throwback to the movie The Blob.
Could be. Monsters.
Who knows?
So the big thing that's happening, which when they decided to put Monsters, Inc. over there, I'm like, how are they going to fit all this into it? Well, they have blocked off about 10 acres of cast member parking right behind Muppets Courtyard. There's a big parking area for cast members back there. It's roughly about 10 acres, completely blocked off. They have now moved those parking spots, are now using part of the guest parking at Hollywood Studios. So cast members have been shifted in the parking lot. And it's behind Muppets Courtyard, like I said. It's about 10 acres. So what's going to happen, if you look at the overhead, you can see it in the concept art. The beginning of the door roller coaster that's going to go on Monsters, Inc. lines up with the show stage of Rise of the Resistance. So that parking lot is going to house, if not a lot of the roller coaster. So they need to build because they couldn't fit all that into what's currently there.
Sure.
So, and then the article I did read said that parking lot will also be used for construction equipment, trailers, debris, stuff to build the ride. So I guess that's the biggest thing that came out is that the area is going to be expanded.
I'm going to make a comment here. I do not see anywhere on this map where it appears that there is an outdoor ride. Am I missing something? I just don't see it.
I think the Monsters, Inc. ride is going to be inside.
There's not going to be any outdoor at all because there is a concreted structure to the right but it just looks plain. It just looks like a maze of concrete. But I don't really know what that is, but I really don't see.
I don't know. No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying there. I don't know. They have not released. Okay. I'm assuming the door is going to be, well, if you look at the concept art from when Disney released the art for the door roller coaster, it was indoors.
Right.
So,
which I'm super excited about that. I think that's going to be really fun.
I think it's going to be the first suspended roller coaster that Disney's built, meaning you're hanging from the the track. I'm excited for that. I like Monsters Inc. So yeah, that's the big news, and I think the big, like I said, the biggest piece of information coming out of that was the parking lot. So that area is going to be expanded, which is like I said when they first announced it, I was like, that's a small area to put everything.
It's just hard at this point to determine what's going to be what, because it's just buildings. Like, you can't see anything outward. So, I mean, your imagination can just run wild with what's going to be where. I mean, what's the entrance to the Glob? Is it going to be a show, and then it leads into...
But that brings in the question, if there is a Monsters, Inc. show there, what are they going to do with Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor in Magic Kingdom?
Well, that's interactive, so maybe they'll go ahead and keep that. And then perhaps do, like a full-on show, like a show, like they do Finding Nemo,
like a Lion King.
Yeah, like a Lion King. Maybe they'll just do a full-on show like that.
It could be. I like the Laugh Floor. Maybe they just move the whole thing over there. I don't know. Then maybe they keep both. Who knows? A lot of questions. That's what's so exciting about it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. And I like how Disney just feeds you bits and bits of information at a time. So, the Muppets are gone. They're moving, like I said. The Jim Henson Company is considering bringing Muppet Vision 3D to virtual reality. This is according to the Disney fan site Laughing Place, their Twitter account, or X account. Attendees at a 70th anniversary panel for the Jim Henson Company were told that discussions have started with Disney about the possible VR release. Notably, Jane Henson, co-founder of Muppets Inc., stated that the attraction has been documented with VR cameras. So for all you Muppets fans that are completely beside yourself because the Muppets Show is gone, they could be coming to VR, or that show could be coming to VR.
Interesting.
This has not been confirmed. This is just talk and speculation, but it's notable enough that Jane Henson has brought it up.
Well, then you had told me, and I don't know, that she was the last one when they for their closing show. She was the first one, the last one in,
and the last one out,
and the last one out of the final showing.
Yep, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's the Hollywood studio news. Not a ton of information like we had with Cars Land last week, but there's stuff starting to develop over there too. Speaking of stuff developing quickly, over at Animal Kingdom, there is now a crane towering over the new Tropical America's construction site. So that is starting to move as well. The crane is near the backside beyond the former Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures gift shop.
So what is going in there?
The Tropical Americas.
Oh, yeah.
Encanto and Indiana Jones. And I think that's scheduled to be open.
I thought Indiana Jones was just going into the dinosaur ride just to...
It is, but it's going to be part of Tropical Americas.
Oh, it's going to blend in.
Okay. Yeah. It's going to be all one thing.
Same ride, different
theme.
Same track, so it's still going to be bumpy. So if you're kind of...
jerky.
Yeah. Which I get
a jerky ride.
I get the whole reason. Yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, that it was, kind of wonky.
Yep.
If you got some back issues, don't do it. Yeah. So I understand why both of those rides need to be that way, though, because, land back in dinosaur times was not smooth.
Yeah.
And also Indiana Jones, when you're going in caverns and caves and different things like that and mountains and whatnot, that also is not smooth.
But it'd be a perfect time to refresh and update the track system if that's what they want to do. You know what I mean?
But if they want that off-road kind of experience.
Yeah, then they just jerk you around still.
Yeah. I think it was that ride. I can't be certain, but one ride I went on, it literally poked the earrings post into my head, into my neck, behind my ear.
At Disney? Was it at Disney?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which one it was. Because my head was all over the place.
It was probably Dinosaur.
Maybe. No.
Space Mountain?
No,
Space Mountain's not smooth.
It was probably Space Mountain because everything about Space Mountain to me
it's-
just was not a good experience.
It's not a smooth ride.
It was probably Space Mountain, but it's something where you have the head stuff,
Oh, the only one of that I think would be Rock and Roller Coaster.
No, it's not that because I liked Rock and Roller Coaster.
I think it's the only
Anyway,
one that
I can't
has
think. Maybe it was another park, and I'm blending. Apologies, I'm blending.
We'll call it Space Mountain.
Okay, we'll blame it on Space Mountain.
So that's it for park news this week. Got some other miscellaneous news before we jump into Spotlight on Attraction. This one is sad. Interesting, though. I'm going to read from it. So, longtime Disney Imagineer Kim Irvine, I think that's how you say her last name, retires after 55 years. Kim Irvine is a legendary Disney Imagineer with deep ties to Disney history. And she's officially retiring. Kim is the daughter of two Disney icons. Her mother, Leota Toombs, was the original face of Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion, and her father, Harvey Toombs, was also a Disney Imagineer. Her family connections to Disney even extend through marriage, as her father-in-law, Dick Irvine, was one of Walt's original creative leads. Kim began her own journey with Walt Disney Imagineering in 1970. Over the decades, she helped shape the look and feel of Disneyland and other Disney parks. With her visionary work, some of her major contributions include the addition of Disney characters to It's a Small World, the revitalization of the Rivers of America, updates to Jungle Cruise, and the recent improvements to the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. In a heartfelt tribute to her mother, Kim even portrayed Madame Leota herself in the Haunted Mansion holiday overlay. She also appeared as a ghostly maid in the Muppets Haunted Mansion, a fun nod to her mother.
Aww.
So she's been 55 years.
Wow. I wonder if any offspring are also.
That's a great question. I didn't even think of that. I should have looked that up. See,
how many generations deep is this going?
Yeah.
Hurry back.
Yeah. Yeah, Madame Leota's daughter.
Wow. Well, good for her. I mean, 55 years of working, but doing what you love, but you never truly, I'm sure she'll
do something. I'm sure she'll
be involved somehow,
she'll be back,
behind the scenes.
Right. If they need something.
Yeah.
I don't think they really retire.
Yeah. Well, when you have a job that you love like that and you get to do fun stuff and see it come to fruition at times, yeah.
Well, I know Joe Rohde, who built Animal Kingdom, the Imagineer, they have hired him back. He retired, but he has come back as a consultant in the tropical Americas land. So yeah, I think they're always available if needed.
Maybe just not as much of a demand or pressures, but they get to delegate at that point.
Yeah, and they're not going to work every day.
Yeah, they did their grunt work. Now, they still get to do what they love. Well, good.
And the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus.
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus.
It's a plus on this one.
Oh.
Disney has announced the debut date for the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus, the revival of the classic Disney Junior animated series, Mickey and Friends. It debuts Monday, July 21st. The first 10 episodes will be available to stream on Disney Plus and Disney Junior on demand the following day, Tuesday, July 22nd. The series will continue to roll out globally throughout the rest of the year. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse will incorporate aspects of the original show like Mousecatools and Toodles and new friends.
No, you didn't say it right.
What'd I say?
Oh, Toodles.
Mousecatools and Toodles. Mm-hmm. With new friends like Little Helper and Duffy the Disney Bear, who will make surprise appearances throughout the series. The clubhouse has also been expanded with the Laughing Loft and
a Wacky Tube?
Yeah, my screen just went off. And the Wacky Tube. Minnie, Daisy, Donald, and Goofy will also get their own personalized clubhouses that will be revealed in the series.
Get out. Oh, we have to invite all the grands over to watch this.
The Donald Duck Clubhouse.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, can you imagine that house?
Oh my gosh.
So
there's everything going to be burnt or missing or falling apart somehow.
I guess I didn't realize the other one was no longer in production when I read this. I didn't know it was like the one we watched with the grandkids, the one that's on Disney Plus.
They're on repeats.
I guess I don't think it's any longer in production. Obviously, if they're making a new one, obviously.
I'm excited for that. That's going to be cute. Get Disney Plus, guys.
Get Disney Plus.
How much is that? Does it depend on where you are?
It's just different packages. Like ours is bundled with Max.
Okay.
And it's like $16 a month bundled with Max and Hulu, and there's different packages.
You can bundle with different things.
I want to say if you do it standalone, it's $7.99 per month.
Okay.
$8.99.
But it varies.
Yeah. And they, all streaming services once every 12, 18 months up at $1 or whatever.
It's a good educational program. It's better than your kids sitting on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it teaches, our two youngest grands, 2 and 3 years old, and even the older ones when they were younger would sit and watch it. And it just, you want to have some interactive stuff, but there's times where you got to get laundry done and cleaning and, different things like that. And you just need alone time away from them. That it's something safe that you can.
Yep. And they learn. It's educational.
And it's got counting. It's got shapes. It's got, so it's really a really cute thing.
Instead of watching people play Minecraft on YouTube.
Yeah.
And also Disney Plus. Speaking of Disney Plus.
If you like to play Minecraft, we're not talking about you.
Yeah, we're not talking about you. If you are a Disney Plus subscriber or you want to become one, they are having amazing deals if you're a Disney Plus subscriber for Disney World through July. I think last I saw, like a Cars family suite at Art of Animation, which is normally, I don't know, $550, $600 a night, is like $250, $270, something like that. And Savannah View rooms at Animal Kingdom are down to like $320 for Disney Plus subscribers.
Wow.
Contact me if you're a Disney Plus subscriber.
Yeah, with that being said, Nick is a travel agent.
I am a certified earmarked travel agent.
Yeah.
Affiliated with Academy Travel. Email me at nick.garcia@academytravel.com.
Hold on, I'm writing that email down so I can
write it
email
down.
you.
There'll be links in the show notes too.
I want to go. I want to book.
Yeah,
book through you.
that's like crazy deals.
Yeah.
That's even when
That's
I
like
saw
a third
that,
of the price.
because I see all the deals, you know what I mean? But those are big numbers.
And by the way, guys, Nick Services is free. There's no additional charge to you.
No charge.
Disney covers that.
Disney.
So you get the perks and you get the no stress of somebody else planning your vacation, and it's no cost.
Free service. I get deals as good as you can get, if not better. And I do know about the deals before, or travel agents, I should say, not me. Travel agents know about the deals before they drop to the public. And also over at Hollywood Studios, Disney has not officially announced Jollywood Nights, but you know what they have done?
No, what?
They've put out casting calls.
Okay.
So the 2 casting calls on the Disney Auditions website are for vocalists and dancers with auditions by June 23rd. The postings are for, quote, Disney Holidays in Hollywood.
Ooh.
So we have not had an official confirmation of Jollywood Nights, but the postings are for Disney Holidays in Hollywood.
And my mind's going like, what could that be?
Well, the rest of the article, it was for, the stage show with the Muppets and that's in the Beauty and the Beast Theater.
Yes.
It sounds like it's for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be for that show.
Okay.
So Jollywood Nights, although not official, pretty much unconfirmed, being confirmed.
And remember, guys, if you're interested or know somebody that might be interested or talented to do this, Monday, June 23rd, 2025 is the auditions deadline.
Yep. There's a Disney Auditions website. So I don't know that website, but I'm sure if you Google it, you can get there.
Looks as though it might be jobs.disneycareers.com.
Think I could audition?
Of course, babe. You can do whatever you want.
I could.
Yeah.
Do you think I would get it?
Well, you are older now.
I'm a terrible singer. I am 1 year older.
Not in the shower. You're not a terrible singer. Okay, so
Jollywood Nights.
Go out and share your talents, guys.
And the Disney Cruise Line has shared its first look at the new Stern characters being installed on the Disney Adventure. It's Captain Mickey Mouse and Captain Minnie Mouse. I will share this on our blog. They're very cute. The Disney Adventure will sail out on its maiden voyage from Singapore on December 15th, 2025, and will have its home port there.
In Singapore? Oh, my.
Singapore. The ship will include new and returning offerings, including the first ever roller coaster at sea for Disney Cruise Line, a Captain Jack Sparrow show.
Wait, stop. Roller coaster?
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
When I read that too, I was like,
you had to reread it? Like, did I see that right?
I don't know what that means.
Well, it won't be like a Barnstormer thing, right?
I don't know.
But even though Barnstormer's a lot of fun.
It could be Tron.
We went on it ourselves.
Be Tron on
oh my God, no,
deck.
I wouldn't do it. My anxiety, I don't think I could do it.
Or maybe Guardian of the Galaxy.
You might get me on a water slide, that has the transparent tubing that overlooks the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you've ever done that, please share your experiences because I don't like heights. However, I love roller coasters and I don't mind flying. I just have to be strapped in somehow, some way. And then I'm okay.
Are you talking about a water slide going over the edge?
I'm talking about the water slide that goes on the cruise ships.
Yeah, they like go over the edge?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm not strapped into anything, so I don't know that I would.
But you're in a tube.
Yeah. But I don't have a harness.
Still no?
I don't have a harness. But as I said, I'm scared of heights. But I mean, I guess, even in an airplane, but I got a seatbelt on. So it's mind tricks.
We can go on together. I'll sit behind you and we'll put bungee cords around us. So you can be strapped to me.
On what?
You bungee cord around our bodies.
On what ride though? The roller coaster?
No, like any water, any cruise water slide.
Oh, okay.
Then you'd be strapped to me.
I don't think they allow two people to go at once unless I'm a little, and I'm not a little.
We'll talk to them.
I mean, I'm 5'2", but
we'll just tell them you need to be strapped to something,
okay.
and you're going to be strapped to me.
Okay.
They'll go for it.
Well, how do you feel about it?
It reminds me in Superman. You remember when I'm aging myself here. The very first Superman with Christopher Reeve.
Yes.
And Lois Lane is falling off the building.
Yes.
And he flies up and he catches her.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. And he says, "Don't worry, I got you." She goes, "You got me? Who's got you?"
Yeah.
It'll be like that.
Yep. Okay.
Where was I? Oh, a Captain Jack Sparrow show. The first ever Duffy and Friends show and store. The Marvel Style Studio. The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and Disney Princess Afternoon Tea.
They're going to have a Bibbidi Bobbidi on the boat. Is this the first one having a Bibbidi Bobbidi?
It says, but yeah, I don't know.
No, because it says first ever roller coaster.
First ever roller coaster. I don't know. That's a great question. We're going to find that out.
We've never been on a Disney cruise, guys, but we are looking forward to it. We're trying to get all of our grands completed with their first trips first before we do something like that. And we're 2 down, 3 to go.
3 to go, and we did our first trip. We did 2 at a time. Not doing that again.
They were 5 and 7.
They were 5 and 7. It was.
We talked about how the oldest fell asleep during fireworks and whatnot, and we got strollers for each because their little legs, and we were hardcore going to do and we did do everything.
We did a lot.
And even though I had mentioned that our oldest went on every ride except Rock and Roller Coaster because it was closed down, it wasn't open. And then our 5-year-old at the time, grandson, went on everything he was allowed, which obviously Rockin' being closed, he was not tall enough to go on Tron, but he went on everything else. Yeah. And initially he had been to Disney one time prior with my son and his family, and he cried on Slinky.
So, yeah.
So to go from Slinky to everything else in the parks, all 4 parks, was pretty intense.
That's pretty impressive.
However, we do think that our oldest grand had a little bit of persuasion.
The younger one didn't want to not go on something because the older one was.
Yeah, and they're very close. They're both boys.
In fact, I remember the older one loved Tower of Terror, and so we wanted to go on it again. This was right before we went to Fantasmic. We're like, okay, we're right here. The line was like 10 minutes or something small. And so the younger one said, no, I don't want to go on it. But the older one was excited. And he's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go on it again. And so he said, well, I guess I'll go on it again. And the ride photos show his face on all these rides.
Every ride photo. It's Pirates. It's Slinky Dog. It's
he's
Tower.
He's under some stress.
And he's poor guy. He says, I was just pretending. I was pretending.
Yeah.
But he is clinched to whoever is closest. And but he did have a good time. The only thing that everybody disliked, minus Nick, was Space Mountain.
But yeah, so we took 2 of them at a time. We're gonna take 1 of them at a time from here on out because we want to provide more specific attention to the one. And let's be honest, we are not 25, 30 years old,
Yeah.
chasing around 2 kids.
Well, and another reason that we are able to take one is we bought into DVC
right.
after our visit
Right.
with the 2 grandsons.
Correct.
So we didn't have anticipations of being able to go as frequent as we have the opportunity to go now. So we're able to enjoy them more often.
Yeah. It's kind of like prepaying vacations.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, but at the time we didn't have that available to us, or we didn't take advantage of it.
So
and she's a girl, and then our next one coming up is girl, and then we have another boy.
The only girl.
She's our only girl. She's 3 now, so we take them, and they have to be at least 5. And then right after her, we've got another grandson who is 2. So to take, I don't think the youngest grandson, well, besides the 1-month-old baby, would enjoy, hanging out at Bibbidi Bobbidi. I know they have the boy dress ups, but I just don't know that he would, and
it's not his thing.
And to do a princess dinner and things like that. We want it to be more focused on
It's child specific
child.
Yeah.
Right.
We want to be able to, what are they into at this time? Mm-hmm. And we can drive the whole trip towards that, or a lot of it.
Correct. And now that Nick knows the shortcuts through all the parks, we won't be walking around for miles and miles.
I had not been to Disney in quite a long time, and we added a lot of steps that we didn't need to.
Find your shortcuts.
Yep. Now you can
look at your maps.
Now we can go from point A to point B in a lot less steps.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it for the news this week. Not a lot. Hollywood Studios, though, getting exciting.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's going to be trickling every week. Stuff's going to just trickle.
But so when is this? Okay, wait a minute. It's sailing out at Singapore. So what ports is this going to go to? This
I don't know. I don't think they have itineraries yet.
Okay.
This week's Spotlight on Attraction is going to be Carousel of Progress. How do you feel about Carousel?
I like it. I think it's informational. I don't know how they're going to keep it update as the times are going on, but adding in new scenes.
I think that's the biggest critical thing of it, is that even that last scene, it's kind of stuck in time.
Yeah, they try to update it by putting, the game controllers or whatever they were putting in their hands, like smart. Yeah, but at some point it's just going to be outdated completely.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's to that point.
So tell me, when was that ride constructed?
So it originally was in the New York's World Fair. It was sponsored by General Electric in the General Electric exhibit. And this was, for the time, those of you who don't know about Carousel of Progress, for the way the show is you go through different time periods from the 1900s, I believe, to the 1990s, to early 1900s to the 1990s, but you go through different scenes.
Mm-hmm.
The audience rotates around the stage.
Yeah, the stage is stagnant.
Right. The stage is stationary. The seats rotate around the stage. So after each scene, it appears that the stage is like going away, but it's actually you, the audience, moving to a new scene.
And there's lots of seating in there.
Lots of seating. The idea became Progress Land, and it debuted at the World's Fair in 1964. It was a massive success. Guests absolutely loved it, not just because of the technology, but because of the heart behind it. The scenes felt real. You saw how everyday life changed over the decades, from gas lamps and ice boxes to electric ovens and color TVs.
So with that being said, it's actually there's 4 scenes total.
I don't know. Is there
There's
4?
There's 4 scenes total. And they are depicted from the 1900s, the 1920s, the 1940s, and a contemporary, which the contemporary is somewhat outdated now.
Right. Okay. And then if you talk about the Carousel of Progress, you have to talk about the music, the song. If you've been on the Carousel of Progress, I know it's in your head right now. It's called There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. The girl sitting next to Nick knew it by heart, every single word.
She was sitting behind me and didn't mind that. What was irritating me was the toe tapping on the back of my seat. And it wasn't just a gentle tap. She was rocking out.
She was getting down.
She was rocking out. I mean, we're AC/DC in there.
Oh, no.
So Yeah. That was whatever. I mean, you go to Disney,
Yeah, have a good time.
Yeah. It was just I got a little tired of it after the first scene.
So
I'm going to get to the music here. The Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow was also written by the Sherman Brothers, the same duo behind It's a Small World.
Are those the same brothers that did Mary Poppins?
That I don't know.
Okay.
You can look that up.
Me and my rabbit holes.
Yeah, you're to be down rabbit holes. And after the World's Fair ended, Walt moved the attraction to Disneyland in 1967. Unfortunately, he passed away just months before it opened, but Carousel of Progress became one of the first tributes to his vision of optimism, progress, and family. The Disneyland version ran until the early 1970s when Disney decided it was time to bring it to Florida.
This just in, the Sherman Brothers did do
Mary
A Spoonful
Poppins?
of Sugar.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. We watched that.
The Tom Hanks movie.
Yes, the Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
And it did have
Saving Mr. Banks.
Saving Mr. Banks. That's correct.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. So it is the Sherman Brothers who
That's
did that
right.
as well.
Yes, I remember that.
They did a lot of the music for that as well. Anyway, back to Carousel.
So we're in 1970s, decided it was time to bring it to Florida. In 1975, the Carousel of Progress reopened at Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World's Tomorrowland, where it remains to this day. And with that move came a new theme song, The Best Time of Your Life, another Sherman Brothers tune, but it was slightly more consumer-friendly, focused on enjoying the present, not just looking ahead. That version stuck around until the early 1990s when Imagineers decided to restore Walt's original vision. So in 1994, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow returned, and so did the attraction's original name, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, as a tribute to the man behind it. Now, over the years, as we were saying, the show's final scene, The Future, has been updated a few times to keep up with the times. It currently includes voice-activated appliances, virtual reality video games, and a futuristic oven that still burns the turkey at Christmas. And here's a fun fact. The Carousel of Progress is the longest-running stage show in American history.
21 minutes. Oh, you mean time-wise?
Yeah, time. Well, yeah, that's a good point. Time-wise, how long? It's 21 minutes?
It's 21 minutes.
Okay.
It's a 21-minute show.
Yeah, it's the longest-running stage show in American history.
Oh, wow.
So it's estimated that over 100 million people have seen it since 1964. And even better, it's one of the few places where you can still hear Walt Disney's own voice. He originally recorded the pre-show narration for the World's Fair version.
Well, that's probably a lot of the reason why they go in and see that.
Could be.
And the dog. Because you get to see the dog throughout the
dog.
park in different rides. He's in Pirates. He's in the Carousel. He's in, when you go through the boat ride, isn't he at Walt's house? Isn't he on the porch or in the yard?
I don't know. Is the land, living with the land?
Yes, when you get to see Walt's bedroom.
I don't know. Is the dog there? I don't know. Could be. Now, I'm going to get it. People are going to come at me for this, but Carousel of Progress is my AC nap ride. There's two of them in Magic Kingdom. There's Hall of Presidents, and Carousel of Progress.
Don't worry, guys. I'll tap his chair.
She'll tap my chair. I like it. It's Walt's thing, and I do like it, but it's kind of my nap ride.
Just looking at Living with the Land, when we were looking for the dog, it does sit on the porch at Walt's childhood home.
Huh.
So this
I
says
don't think I've ever
it's in
noticed.
Carousel, Pirates, and then on Living with the Land. Well, that's in Epcot though.
Yeah. It's
So,
Epcot.
we're not doing Epcot, but at the farm scene, and then you get his house.
Yeah, people may not know Living with the Land, which is completely underrated ride in all of Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
There is a replica of Walt's hometown house.
Yes.
In the ride, if you didn't know.
Yeah. And actually, I know we're not talking about Living with the Land right now, but from the restaurant above, you can actually see the boats going through.
Yep. And it spins.
We've not experienced that. And they do have characters
Chippendale,
that are specific for that.
Yeah. I don't know exactly who's up there. I know Chippendale. I've seen him up there.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Carousel of Progress, my nap ride. Don't come at me too hard for that. Don't come at me too hard for that. That and Hall of Presidents. But
no, I love that one too.
I don't
nap when I'm.
It's I got a nap. We do early entry to fireworks.
We do early entry to fireworks.
We don't go back for breaks.
And we do not.
We should.
We will find a spot for a little while and sit, and have a cold treat. But for the most part, we try to plan it, and we'll do cooling rides if it's too hot. We'll do a show or whatnot to get out of the heat. But for the most part, we're go the entire time.
If we stayed at a monorail resort like the Polynesian or Grand Floridian, I would probably do a.
But we're
break.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, we're Animal Kingdom.
So we're bussing it, and it's
20-minute ride, 15-20-minute ride each way.
And to me, 20-minute each way, and then that could be 2 hours of your day.
Yeah, no, I know, I get it.
But if you need to do it, do it. We just don't.
Oh yeah,
we just choose not to.
That's actually a perfect segue into this week's tip or trick of the week is, especially if you have kids, our tip or trick, what we suggest, especially if it's your first trip to Disney, don't schedule a 5-day trip and do 4 parks. That's crazy. Schedule 7 days, do 4 days or 5 days in the parks, because you got to have a break.
If you're planning to do full days.
If you're doing full days, yeah. I would even say even if you're going to take a break, because you need a full day of rest, to me.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, when we do it, we'll do a couple of days of park, and then we'll have a rest day. Well, our arriving day, we don't do a park. We get settled in, and kind of venture around and
relax.
resort, and then we'll do a couple park days. Then we'll have a rest day, and then another couple park days, and then another rest day.
Yeah,
and then we leave the following.
It's too much to.
If we are going to leave the day after a park day, we try to do Animal Kingdom because it closes sooner. It
closes early. Yes.
So,
it's great,
and they don't have the fireworks.
Right.
So like if we're leaving on a Saturday, we'll try to plan it where we can do Animal Kingdom on Friday. Now that will depend on if they're having special shows or things like that. There's a lot of variables that go into this.
But if you're just like cut and dry, Animal Kingdom on your last day, that's what we do because it closes at 6. You get a full park day, and you get time to go back to your resort and pack.
Yep, and rest up and have dinner and get good sleep. But when you're doing fireworks, and you have a difficulty getting some transportation back. I mean, you might not get back.
Oh yeah,
to your hotel for midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, depending on when you leave. Which goes back to another trick we did before, that if you have littles or people and you want to be out right after, but don't want to miss the fireworks, to stay up by the gate.
Yep. Now the caveat to doing Animal Kingdom last, we experienced for our first time last year. If you stay in deluxe resorts, you get extended evening hours. Animal Kingdom does this sometimes. Typically, usually Magic Kingdom and Epcot, but Animal Kingdom, for some reason right now it's Animal Kingdom. I don't know why, but we did Animal Kingdom. And if you ever get a chance to experience that park, we were there in November, so it got dark around 5 or 6. If you ever get a chance to experience that park at night for extended evening hours, or if they have a special ticketed after hours event, I suggest do it. That park is absolutely stunning at night. Not just Pandora. I mean, just the whole park itself. Walking from one end to the other, it looks like a completely different park. It's really, really cool.
I just think the ambiance of Animal Kingdom is probably, if we're going strictly on that, like appearance or like where you feel like you're you're in the moment, you're in the area, that one does it with all with the noises and all the sounds, the foliage, and it's just
the smells, and just,
if you love nature, you're gonna love this park.
I mean, you feel like you're in Africa. I mean, you really do. But and then Pandora at night is just something else. Like, I'd never seen it at night before last year when we went to. We had extended evening hours, and just stunning.
Now, how long do the extended evening hours vary?
No, it's always 2 hours.
2 hours.
So when we went,
for deluxe resort guests, and so that includes all the main, like Grand Floridian and
all the deluxe, even
DVCs, and then what about what about like Pop? Does Pop get in on that?
No,
Pop does not get in.
That Pop's a value.
That's a
value. Moderates are excluded from that. It's a perk of.
See, that's why Nick's best at planning this stuff.
Yeah.
I'll do the research. He'll throw me his ideas, and then I go down and look at it, and then I'll make some tweaks. So it's a teamwork.
So, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. We will be back next week. Our show drops every Monday. You can find us on Facebook at the Main Street Talk. Our Facebook group is Disney World Tips and Talk. Our Instagram is Main Street Talk Podcast. The handle is Disney World News Podcast. Our website is mainstreettalkpod.com. That is kind of where everything sits. That's where our blogs are. I put a blog up yesterday with the Monsters, Inc. land, and I think I'm going to put a blog up of the Mickey and Minnie captain on the new ship, on the adventure ship. It's pretty cute. And I am a certified travel agent. My services are free. Contact me at nick.garcia@academytravel.com. Whether it's your first trip or 50th trip, I can help you out. Book your dining reservations. We are an affiliate of the Magic Candle Company, which is theme park smells. They have all your favorite Disney smells wrapped in a candle.
Yeah.
And that link is on the mainstreettalkpod.com website. It's listed under candle. What's your favorite candle?
Well, I was just going to say, too, they have 2 different sizes. So if you want to trial and if you want to trial them, you know.
Get a small one.
Yeah. That's what we did when we first tried them out.
And the link on the website, you get 15% off if you use the code Main Street Talk at checkout. You got to use the link, though.
And I can't choose a favorite. I have a couple that I don't care for only because I'm not keen on those particular scents in general. But I will have to say, I like the fresh aired ones like Soarin' and Banshee, and I like the Lodge.
Yeah, the Animal Kingdom Lodge one. We do have a Polynesian upstairs. We haven't opened yet. We need to try that one. Yeah. Oh, the Wilderness Lodge too. You like the Wilderness Lodge? I do like the Wilderness Lodge. Yeah, that's it for this week's show.
We're signing off, guys.
Signing off. We will talk to you real soon.